Hello, my FLOSSTUBE friends. It is Johnny Saxon back again with another FLOSSTUBE update, though a little bit too late if you ask me. I have been waiting a while to actually get this one out because it has been a very crazy couple of months for me since the last time I posted something, which was in February, I believe. I think it was the beginning of February. It's been interesting times. I think the last time I left you, I was going overseas for a work trip that I was very thankful for. It was quite the experience. I have to admit to everybody, I've already filmed FLOSSTUBE 3. It happened. It actually happened about 2 hours ago. This is my second attempt because I decided stupidly to use a new camera. Well, actually, it's an old camera that I wanted to use because it was a cinema camera. I put it on, but I can't see what I'm doing. And so it was recording, and I did, I think, a 1 hour talk, and it only filmed about 20 minutes of it. And I feel distraught. Like, oh my God. It's very hard to do something again once you've done it. And the truth is, you just kind of don't want to do another hour of the same thing that you just did. So yes, I don't know what this is going to be, but I just wanted to let you know that because it really stuffed me up. Anyways, here we are. We're doing it again. So I will give you guys a little bit of an update of where everything is, again for me, but not for you. So let's start with the first thing. Let's give you my life update if you're interested in that. If you're not, you can skip forward to the crafty bits where we can go into my current whip parade and a couple of new starts as well. Or let's just say one new start and one other one that I really need to start again. But anyways, so life update. I went on this crazy journey, which I still can't actually share where it is because it's still not released on this side, and I've got an NDA, like a non-disclosure agreement, where I can't really talk about it. But what I can tell you about is the experience that I had. Now, I haven't really spoken on the channel about what exactly it is that I do, and so I might just kind of go into that in this FLOSSTUBE. But basically, what I do is I work in post-production as a post-production supervisor, which is kind of like these days it's amalgamated into a little bit of an operational role. And what I do is I work in a big sort of production studio that only does unscripted content. Well, not only, that's incorrect. I work only in the unscripted department, which is, your favorite reality shows like Married at First Sight, MasterChef, you name it, like that sort of competitive reality show. We also do like the, just not the fictional, but like the more, well, Married at First Sight is a little bit more produced, if you know what I mean. Then we also do like observational documentaries, all that kind of stuff. I think one of we have like an Emmy Award winning show that we've done called Old People's Home, which I've worked on as well. So there's a whole lot of like different shows that I work on. Currently, we've got about 28 shows on our slate this year. So you can imagine I kind of get a bit busy. I am the post advisor for the company that I work for, and I've been there for the last 5 years. So that's like a basic outlook of where I work. What I do exactly is I work in as part of organizing the pipeline of how footage gets shot and where it ends up. So I'm the person, or one of the people, that facilitates that movement of when it gets shot and how it appears on your televisions. So it's a big job. I kind of go from the beginning to the end and just watch it change. I'm not really part of the editing process. That's something else. So like I steered clear away from that. I mean, I was going towards that at the beginning of my career, and I decided it's not for me because it's not. Well, let's just say I don't really like editing unscripted reality TV. I'm not like my brain doesn't is not wired that way, but I do love being a part of it and like working with it. And ideas, man, you could say, if anyone wants to listen to them. But yeah, so I kind of manage a lot of people that are part of the finishing department. So they're your people that like color the film or video, the people that mix the audio. I'm also there to make sure that the footage gets to them okay, and in order to do that, I have to kind of make sure that I run like the assistant editors department, all that kind of stuff, to make sure that they're handling the footage correctly and that it gets to us properly. And it gets more and more complicated as technology gets better and better because there's just more, just smarter technology out there. So you have to just be on top of it, on the pulse. So where this is leading to, that's sort of like a very mishmash of what I do. I find it very difficult to explain what I do, but it fills my day and my year, and it pays me, so that's what I do. Anyways, so where I went, it was sort of a way of me kind of going out and making sure that production are giving us what we need. And I'm also there for like not just technical purposes, but logistically making sure that it's going to work and get back to us over here in Sydney. So I went on this trip with them overseas to a place that I can't say, and it was eye-opening for me because I used to work in production about 14 years ago. It wasn't a role. I left straight away because I just couldn't. You have to be a certain type of person to be out on field and to find the energy for that. And I just find that my energy is not one that can go for so long. It burns out pretty quick. I need space. I need a little bit of routine in my life to make sure that I feel energized. And these people, I commend them. They're amazing at what they do. But for me to keep up, it was very hard. I saw a lot of things on this trip. Eye-opening things. I've discovered a little bit about myself, like the fact that I do need routine in my life, the fact that I maybe need to be around cleaner cities, if that makes sense. Where I went was high crime, so that was also a bit eye-opening. But it was amazing to be a part of the crew, and I made a lot of new friends there. So, yeah, what a great start to the year to begin with. And here I am back in Sydney trying to find a routine again. And it's taken me 3 months. 3 months to actually figure out how to get back into my normal daily life. So, I mean, that's the basic life update. And yeah, at this point, I'm just trying to make sure that I just get that my health back a little bit, because I kind of feel like I hurt myself quite a bit over there with the hours that I worked. I didn't hurt myself. It was just, imagine working back to back 9 to 10 days where you were just constantly on. You're in an area that you didn't know. You're working 15 to 18 hours a day. You're alert and your energy is at like peak. For 10 days straight, then add travel to it. And I traveled, like, I think, to get out of Australia and to go wherever in the world, it took, I think it was like 30 to 40 hours of travel. There and then back another 30 to 40 hours. So you can just imagine, it's just a lot. It was very taxing on my body. And I used to be young, and even though you may think I am young, I am not. I am almost 40, and my body screams sometimes. I think for like the first 2 weeks when I was back, every time I woke up, my feet were like just aching, and I'm like, when did this happen? Let's just add this to the list of things that happened to Johnny Saxon. Anyways. So, yes, that's currently my life update, and that's where everything is at. getting back into the swing of things. I'd like to talk about just how I want to break this floss tube up with you guys. So, I mean, apart from giving you the life update, I'm going to go straight into my whip parade, new starts. I have no finishes, unfortunately, but that's okay. There will be finishes in the future. When? I don't know. We'll find out. But yes, couple of things, though, before we get started is just some new things that I'm trying to do. Just letting you in on stuff that I'm trying to get done. I got the idea of FLOSSTUBE, again, because, we all get enabled. But I got myself a little diary. Well, a dotted diary. Dotted diaries, can I say, are a game changer. There's something to be said about just those little dotted pages. They help, like, I don't know, for me, I just, like, when I see a blank page, I'm lost. But the dots on a page help me. Sounds so stupid, doesn't it? But it actually does. It helps me just write things down well and neatly. Whereas if it's a blank page, it will just be all over the place. And I like neat. And plus, with dots, you can do things like graphs. And so I've started a little floss chart where I kind of put the dates at the top, what projects I'm working on, and then just fill the squares underneath, and then kind of like put some stats in there for me to see how I'm going across like my kits or my projects. And then what I've done also is I've started putting in notes and all that kind of jazz just to help me along for when I get to these floss tubes and I have something to talk about with you guys because I remember it. But one of the things that I want to talk to you about is what I've done over the last February-March period is like put these graphs down and just see what it is or where I'm up to on things. So I'm going to go over that when I do my little whip parade and tell you how many stitches I've done, what percentages I'm at. One of the great things that I'm doing is like with Pattern Keeper, it's got the percentage of how much you're getting through. And I've just been noting the percentages down every day. And what I do is I just get the total stitches that I've got and then I calculate just by multiplying the percentage to the total how many stitches I've done that day. Or I don't do it per day. I know that Pattern Keeper tells you per day, but it's just easier for me to track the percentages because all I need is how many stitches did I begin with at the beginning of the month and how many stitches did I end up with at the end of the month, and then I just do the difference and that's how many stitches I did that month. So that's how I'm doing it and putting it down here. I love Excel sheets. For God's sake, I work with Excel sheets daily. And as much as I love making a new Excel sheet, it's so much better just to put it down in a journal. It's just easier. I get it up in the morning. Like I get up in the morning before I do my first stitch in the morning. I just take this out, open up Pattern Keeper, and be like, "Where am I at? Okay, cool. This is how much the percentage is," and then I just do the calculations from there. So yeah, interesting stuff, guys. Wow, organization, productivity. Let's go. Anyways, cool. All right. Well, I won't bore you with any more. Oh wait, no, there is one more thing I want to bore you with. We say boring, it's not that boring. Come on, we all love this, don't we? All right, so I have like this little box that I put my little floss bobbins in. Nothing special, guys. I'm collecting it. I'm trying to get my collection up. I've got my little bobbins and more bobbins everywhere. Don't mind my thread drops. I got thread drops too, but I'll talk to you about that in a second. What I'm trying to do is I want a way of organizing my DMC floss or just floss in general. And there are apps. Sure, you can use apps. It's funny, I'm going to go against what I just said before and be a hypocrite. But anyways, there are apps that you can use for DMC floss and just like for organization. I can't be bothered with the apps either. There's only, again, another thing on my phone that I need to add. Like, enough. So this is where it's okay to use an Excel sheet in my eyes. So here the hypocrite's out. But I feel like I found this Excel sheet online. Someone had like a DMC floss thing. I'm sure many of you have probably passed it, but this is the first time I've passed it. I'm going to link you below with what that Excel sheet is. I just find it's really useful. I've gone through, I've put in how many like flosses, like floss strands, you know how you can just get them as one pack, how many of those I have in the colors that I as part of the color chart that they've got, and then you just have something like a log there. And the good thing is, if you've got a new pattern or a new, just a new project that you want to start, you can go there, put in the floss that you need, and it will tell you how much more floss you need versus how much you don't need and how many you need to buy on top of it. So I just found that really helpful. It is manual. I understand that there's probably more automatic versions out there, but this works for me currently, and I'm happy with that. Like, again, I just don't want to add another app to my life. I don't know if anyone really feels fatigue by the amount of technology that we have to use daily. I've got some little story to tell you about that later, but I just get annoyed if I have to use my phone too much, and I'm trying to bring the phone screen time down, because I do believe it's a little damaging to your overall like health or digital health. I mean, it's all around us. We can't avoid it, but we can limit it. You know what I mean? Anyways, tangent. Back to the Excel sheet. It's very helpful, this DMC floss sort of chart log, and I used it to kit up one of my new starts, which is exciting. So yeah, what I'm doing is kind of going with that, and I'm keeping to it. I'm finding it very useful, and I'm going to share it with you guys just to see if you're even interested. But if you're not and you have your own method, that's great. Actually, if you have your own method and you really like it, put it in the comments below, because it'd be interesting for all of us, including myself, to see it and see maybe there is something out there. I'm not saying no to apps. I'm just trying to limit it for me, because I've already worked with so many of them. So yeah, that's where that's from. Okay, so those are the two things I wanted to talk about: my chart, the new DMC thing, and now it's time to talk about the new starts. Okay, so I got a little bit enabled by watching Stem Stitch. Shout out to Stem Stitch. She's amazing, and I love watching her videos. She's got plenty to talk about, and I love that she has so much content to bring out all the time. It's amazing. And she was one of the people that sort of inspired me to do this floss chart as well, like to write it down. So where was I going with this? She was working on a Night Spirit Studio design, which is like a UFO design. I'm just going to say that I'm going to steal it. I want that design too, but I'm not doing that one just yet. I actually went to the Etsy store for Night Spirit Studio and found this. They have beautiful designs, lots of medieval sort of skeleton designs. You know how I love my medieval stuff, so I bought 3 designs. I will tell you what I bought. I bought the Iconic Visitor, the Jeweled Skeleton King, and the Jeweled Skeleton Queen. I will put these here. 1, 2, 3. So these are the ones that I bought, and I love these designs. They're really cool. They're small, and that is something that I want to introduce a little bit into my projects this year and moving on. Some smaller projects that I can actually get out and done within the year, because I am picking huge projects that are going to take at least, at minimum, 1 year, maybe 2 years for each of them. So I think it's nice for me to actually have something achievable within the year that I can finish and say, hey, I've done this, I'm going to hang it. So, or, just place it somewhere. So I started work on the Iconic Visitor. So this is currently what I'm working on, and this is how much I've done. So I started him this March, so about around the mid-March period. I've got him for about 11% of the actual pattern. I'll put a picture, well, where am I going to put it? I'll put a picture there of what it's supposed to look. Well, I mean, I've showed you already, but I'll put it there just so you can see. So 11%, we're at 754 stitches in of that. Can everyone take a moment? How funny is it that you can actually see me through the cloth? Hello. Anyways, can everyone take a moment and the colors are so cool. Like, they really, oh my God, actually, is it a running, I don't know if it's a joke, but if you look at the DMC floss color chart, why is it that the brightest red floss is labeled as 666? Hilarious. Anyways, that's the color floss that he uses, and I'm guessing it's because of the content that it is. Like, I mean, like the design that it is. It's a, it's a little bit. I don't want to say demonic. A skeleton's a skeleton. I've got a skeleton. How's that demonic? Anyway, um, so that is one of the new starts, and I love it, and I can't wait to finish him. And I love that in the design, there's also like a little UFO at the top, which is just silly and fun at the same time. So love it. So that is the iconic visitor that I'm working on. He is now part of my projects, and I'm hoping to finish him off. If I can get through about so I worked 10 days on him this month. If I can work 754 stitches in 10 days, he's about 6,000. He's about 7,000 stitches max, like around there. I could possibly get him done if I work exclusively on him over the month. I could probably get, what's that, 20 days to about 1,500. I could get him done in about 3 months. Hopefully less. That'd be nice. It will be done by Halloween. Win-win. I've got something for Halloween. Love it. So, Iconic Visitor. If you noticed, I got a little bit of a haul from... Well, you haven't noticed yet. I'm going to show you. But I got a little bit of a haul from JK's Cross Stitch Supplies, which is in New South Wales here in Sydney. They are this just this store that sells at great prices for cross stitch supplies. So I ended up ordering, well, I'm going to say it, Q snaps. We got me some Q snaps. Very happy with them as well. So love it. And then I got this little needle minder as a present. And I know that it's small and I didn't ask for it, but do you know what? It matches. I found a little matching needle minder. I'm very excited. Iconic Visitor has this beautiful little ruby friend. Anyway, it's exciting. Yeah, so JK's Cross Stitch Supplies is a good store I like to order from. So, and it was just cheap and good. I got some linen also from them. I'm trying to think about some stores for cross stitch that I've been to lately, and I can't. So, I was recently, God, I feel like I've been traveling all 3 months that have passed so far. But I went down to Canberra for a weekend. They've got this beautiful festival called Libidan. It's a small festival, but I really love going down there around this time of year, where it's autumn, and it gives me, the closest vibes that I can get to Maine and Massachusetts from when I went in 2019. So Canberra it's got that dry, sort of crisp weather, and the trees that's all around there, it's all very pretty, and around autumn, they start losing their leaves, so it's got a definite look to it. They don't have any cross stitch stores down there in that city. I thought that was strange. I just thought that it would be a crafty city in Canberra, but I guess it really is just a politicians and uni town, which was a bit sad. And yeah, I still love visiting down there. So I went for hikes, and it was just lovely. Sorry. It was an impromptu life update number 2 here, but actually, forget it. Might as well just go down this train, guys. For all my American or from USA viewers, subscribers who are watching right now, I am coming to the USA in July. It is very exciting times. I've already bought my ticket. I'm going to Dallas first, and then I'm leaving from San Francisco. Everything in between is not planned. I've taken 4 weeks off work, which is, let's just say, it was a demand after I got back from my overseas trip. Because like I said, I was very tired, and I was, it wasn't a holiday, and I need a holiday. I need a break. So I kind of went into my boss's office, and I'm like, I'm going away for 4 weeks. And he's like, do you have enough annual leave? And I'm like, I don't care. Make it happen. And then I just left. And it happened. So I'm very thankful. But I am going there. I'm planning my trip right now. But basically, the stops that I'm going to are going to be Texas, Louisiana, Carolina, Illinois, I know that's far away, but Illinois, wherever Niagara Falls is, maybe bordering into Canada, like, so I'm kind of like doing a little bit of a circle closing in towards New York. I might actually stop at New York City as well to see a friend, and then kind of come back up around, and then either end in Chicago and then fly to San Francisco to leave to come back to Sydney. Either way, I don't know. But if anyone's got any tips, I guess I'm just going to put it out there. If anyone's got any tips of events that are happening that I should go to, or cross stitch stores that I need to see in those states that I mentioned or any states around it, please comment to me. I'd love any idea. It would be fantastic to get ideas, because then I can sort of maneuver my holidays around it. I think the experience that I'm looking for is, I really want to get that. Maybe it's because we've been watching too much Gilmore Girls. But anyways, I really want to get like a bit of a small town sort of feeling on this holiday. I don't want, like, I mean, apart from New York City, I don't want big city. I just kind of want that small town vibe. Anyways, I am going to do my own research. I just think it's a bonus. If anyone knows anything to throw it my way, please. And you know I love covered bridges, so, you know, any landmarks like that, just throw it my way. Anyways, going back to the new starts. God damn, I really know how to hijack something, don't I? I can't have a format. This is ridiculous. And I work in TV. Like, what is this? Okay, guys. You know how I wanted to start winter? Well, I started it, and I want to take it. I feel like I need to start it again, if you know what I mean. I didn't have the right floss color. There was like no black for a while, and now I've got a whole lot of black like black 310 DMC floss, and I just feel like I need to start this again. But anyways, look how pitiful this start is. So it's pitiful. It's one day I started on this in February, and then I stopped because I'm like, I need to do better. So I will do better on winter. Can we consider this a new start? No. I have one new start, let's be honest. This one is just kind of, let's say I was trying it out. But if you recognize, I got a Q-snap. That's a Q-snap. And the proper Q-snap, not the other branded type. This is it. This is the one. We got some felt on there too, which people have told me I should do. I didn't do it in my other project, but I did it for this one. The one that I'm not working on. I discovered that I used a higher count to begin with, and I changed to a different linen. I don't know. I just feel I don't feel comfortable doing the backstitch. I feel like I need to use black floss so I can see it better, because I found my eyes were hurting on this when I first started this one. This is actually my second attempt starting it, by the way. The first attempt was on a high count. This one's a lower count. I believe it's 28, so 14 count on a linen. It's going to be hard, this one. I will do my best. I don't know why I'm so overwhelmed by it. Anyway, I'm sure it's fine once I get started. And as far as new starts that I haven't started yet, how does that work? As far as things that I want to do in the future, so you know how I got the lovely Enchanter kit. It says as part of the kit that it wants me to take all the floss and wash it prior to putting it, like to starting it. You know, washing it with vinegar and everything. I would love what everyone thinks about that. Should I not do that and just, like, is it because it's old floss? And it's like, I mean, like back in the day, like in the 90s, that you had to wash the floss before you put it onto the cross stitch kit, like start working with it? Is it just a different way that they used to the dye used to, oh my god, what's the word? Fast? Dye fast? Anyway, I can't remember what the word is. Casting, yeah. I think die cast. I'm making shit up. I'm going back to English school. I always say whenever it comes to this, I'm always like, English was my second language. It actually wasn't, but I say it anyway because of my Greek heritage. Yeah, I don't know. I'd like to hear what everyone's thought on that is, because I'm very skeptical about, you know, putting the floss and washing all the floss prior to using it. It's just not something I've done before. Anyways, cool. Now, I've spoken about Night Spirit Studios, which is a fantastic Etsy store, and I'll put their link down, or a mention of them down in the comments. And now I guess we're going to do some progress updates. So, I should still need this. All right, so the lovely Bellatrix, I've already taken this out today, so I have to do it again since the camera stuffed up on me earlier. But that's okay, I'll do it again for you guys. Alright, so Bella is looking damn fine if you ask me. I've made a lot of progress here, I think. What do we have? 1,782 stitches this month, and about 800 and something last month. I think I was on the plinth last month, I believe, or just finishing off the plinth. Then I've got the spell book and the candles, which I don't remember if I finished last month, but either way, it's the dress. Just getting that bottom part done there. It's got a nice, like, the Bella Filipina sort of design's got a nice gradation of just the colors. Just it actually works. It all blends well. Like it's a really well selected colors for it. Yeah, it's just lovely. I haven't worked on her for the last 10 days. I need to give me a break while I work on the Night Spirit Studio design, the Iconic Visitor. But she's going to come back into my daily routine this month for sure. It's just, you know how I like to do something upstairs and something downstairs. I don't feel like I can take the Iconic Visitor downstairs. He's a bit more complicated than the Fruits of Plenty, which I'm going to show you now. So you'd be surprised to know that I'm using a Q-snap. So I've done a lot of progress on this one as well. So we are at 782 stitches done this month. I probably would have done more progress if I was in Sydney a lot, but a lot of the month I was just not here because of Canberra. Well, yeah, actually, just basically because of Canberra. Also, I've been doing doubles of woodwork because I've had to catch up because I've been gone for so long as well. So it has been a very busy month, which is part of the reason why I'm so late with my FLOSSTUBE, because my weekends have been taken up. But that's okay. It's good to be busy. So, Fruits of Plenty, we are at this stage. So I've done basically the top half. We're kind of at, where are we on this? 22% through the overall design. I mean, if you think about the length there. So I did this section here. I've actually made a mistake on it, and no one's going to notice it. And I'm going to decide if I actually fix it or not. No one will ever notice it but me. But I will tell you, just so you can see. But this and this here, one is one stitch lower than the other. It could ruin me. I could frame it, look at it, and go, I should have just redone it. So I might redo it. Depends. But you know when you get like close to a finish and when you finish it and you're like, I'm done, and then you just forget about it, and then you regret it once it's framed. We'll see what I do. So yeah, that's basically where I'm at with my current projects. So at this point, I would say that I've got 3 projects that I'm working on: the Iconic Visitor, the Bella Filipina, Bellatrix, and the Fruits of Plenty. And I'm not counting winter just yet. I feel like I need to restart winter again. So that is my overall stuff. I do have a new pattern that I did purchase as well from Etsy that I couldn't let go. I will show you what that is here. It's from the store OwlAndThread, and we are okay. So it's interesting, this pattern. So put it here. This pattern, I don't usually, I guess maybe it's the medieval thing again. I don't usually go for patterns like this, but then I don't know why I say that, because it sort of runs in the same theme as my that Winter Queen design or pattern that I really like from the book. That magic book? Is it the magic book? Yeah. Oops. Frostberry. It's funny, it could be like a little matching set. Definitely Christmassy. There's something nice about this though. It's called, was it called? It's called Magic Castle. And yeah, it's just got this little wispiness to it that just feels very dreamy. And I'm very much attracted to that sort of design. I just want to fall into it. And it's got that little globe. Sometimes the Aussie accent comes through so hard, and I can't avoid it, guys. I apologize. But yeah, like that's one of the new ones that I got. I don't think I got anything else new in terms of pattern. It was just those Night Spirit Studios and OwlAndThread designs that have come through. And yeah. So, I mean, not really a new haul, but that's what I've got. Okay, so yeah, all right. On to what else I've been doing FlosStube wise. So I've been watching a few different FlosStubes over the last 2 months, and I thought it'd be worth mentioning not just a few, more than a few of them, but I think it's worth me shouting out these FlosStubers because I find them very entertaining. But Laura Sinkins, all of these I'll put in the comments. I've been watching Laura Sinkins, Cross Stitch Bunny, Once Upon a Stitch, Stitch Me Sane, and Cindy Love and Stitch. I've also been watching Star Parade as well. And yeah, these guys have been great entertainment for me in the last month. I just definitely want to mention Cindy Love and Stitch. I believe she's from Holland, and I find her floss tubes to be quite calming to watch. She has a beautiful I don't know if she really intended anyone to really care about this, but I just love the way she also designs her house. So in the backdrop, I just I don't know, she's got a nice vibe to her house and a nice vibe to her as well, and I just enjoy watching her a lot. I think she currently finished something called the White Winter Moth, which I thought was very interesting. I put a note down here, and I believe the designer is Kathy Berrick for the White Winter Moth. I might be wrong. I'm just following my notes here, but but yeah, I really enjoyed that. Stitch Me Sane, she's a fellow Aussie stitcher from Melbourne, and she's working on a couple of projects that I thought were very interesting designs that I haven't seen before. So it's worth the mention. But she's working on this pattern, and I'll see if I can put a picture of what these patterns look like here, just so you can see it. But you could definitely go to her FlosStube. Her FlosStube, I watched FlosStube number 8. And at around 36 minutes in, she's got these patterns pop up. But the patterns are called Invitation to Sojourn, if that's how you say it, and Enter the Void, which are these, I don't know, just beautiful portraits of women. The Enter the Void one is definitely a special looking one. It's got that muted sort of 70s look to it, which I seem to be attracted to when it comes to portraits. Something that I would like to hang in my house, you know what I mean? Like it looks like a big project though. It looks huge. I don't know if I'd take on another huge one right now, but it definitely looks like a nice one. And anything else worth mentioning here? I think I wanted to do a special mention of the Pancake Dragon for Cross Stitch Bunny. I believe that was from her FlosStube number 31. I remember looking at it and just feeling just joy from looking at it, so worth a mention. But yes, these are FlosStubers that I've some that I've rewatched or just are following, and some new ones there. So if you have time to check them out, guys, please do. They're fantastic. And I want to also thank people that shouted me out in the last 2 months as well, like Globetrotting Stitcher. Oh my God, she's huge, right? How good are her floss tubes? Her and her husband are fantastic. And maybe they're going to inspire me to bring my partner in one day and show off his little UFO cross stitches, which, mind you, he has not picked up in the last month, and I'm very upset about it. But I can't be too upset because he's currently writing, like, he writes fiction in his as a hobby, and I've put him onto these websites so that he can actually get chapters out, and it's just a good sort of device for him to get these stories out and have a goal to reach weekly. So he's promising on these websites, like I think the websites just so you know are called like royalroad.com or fictionate.me, I believe. So these websites offer people who write to just put their work out there and people read it, and it's fantastic. And the fact is he's put them up in the last 3 months, and from 0 readers, he's got thousands and thousands of views on his books now, or on his novels as he's writing them, and it gives him this, like, I don't know, this sort of pathway to work his writing technique to make it work for him. This is not a new hobby for him. He's been doing it since I met him 17 years ago. We just had our 17th anniversary in mid-March. So it's been a long time together. but yeah, so always writing. We used to do plays together as well. Like when we first met, we would do like these short plays down here in Sydney at the New Theatre and the Newtown Theatre, I believe it was. It was old days. It's not there anymore. But it was a good way of bonding, making short films based off his scripts. I think my project for film school like 15 years ago was his script that I took, and that was good fun. Anyways, tangents, guys. All I do is tangents. But yes, I don't know what we were talking about. I have to move on. Let's move on. Okay. All right. So, yes. Shoutouts. Oh, I was talking about Globetrotting Stitcher. Right. Yes, that's where I was at, guys. Going back. More shoutouts. All right. I want to also shout out to an Aussie in a Kiwi world. I want to say thank you to her for mentioning me in her video. And again, all the appreciation to these guys for doing this, because it just brings you guys to me. And I can't ask for anything better than for, I don't know, just having a community there that just supports each other and would even want to watch me. So thank you. Crafty Yarns. I can't say that word. Crafty Yarns. Fun with Cross Stitch, Sarah Stitchy Spot, and Carolee Stitches. These are people who are held like dear to me right now because you watched my videos and you just loved it and thought it was worth a mention to your audience, and I'm very thankful to that. So thank you. Cool. All right. I think that reaches mainly the end of our FLOSSTUBE. I do kind of want to take the end of my FLOSSTUBE now and just kind of make another segment, and this segment is anything other than cross stitch that we can talk about, basically. I just want to give you a little bit of tips of some stuff that I'm doing or I'm interested in, and sharing it with you guys and see if you are too. So a couple of things. One thing that I am doing is I've mentioned it before about digital fatigue and how that affects your life, basically your day-to-day and your routine. And what I'm trying to do at this point is rid myself of internet or phone in the mornings. It sounds simple and small, but it leads to something else. One of the other gripes that I have with the fact that I'm surrounded by too much digital stuff is that I don't read. I seem to read a lot, but I don't read things that I care about or want to care about or want to add to my life. I just read crap. all that clickbait and, you know, you go onto Instagram and it leads you to an article that you don't give a shit about, to be honest. And I'm just a bit sick of it. And I want to take a bit more control in my life on that rather than be a slave to the algorithm, if that makes sense. So I'm put a stop in the last week, especially. In the mornings, when you get up at, like, I sometimes like to stay in bed in the morning because I get up at 6:30 and, you know, you just have that like back and forth, and that's where I get on my phone. And I thought to myself, okay, don't change that. If that's how you wake up, that's how you wake up. But what you can change is don't use your phone. Take a Kindle out. Start reading. So that's what I've done. And already in 1 week I've been doing that. I've finished a book finally. And I'm just kind of like, it's that easy, and I just don't know why I don't take those steps, or why I didn't take those steps before. But I want to keep going. I know it's 1 week, and, you know, you could fall back into old routines and all that kind of stuff, but let's see how I go. I'm really trying to give myself the benefit of it, and I wanted to share that because I just think it's interesting, the things that people can do to change things up in their life, and it's so small. It's as simple as just make a decision. Don't use your phone in the morning. That's it. You can use it later, just not the first 2 hours of when you get up. I mean, I still use it for my alarm clock, but I'm even at that point right now where I want to move my phone outside of my room and just get a normal alarm clock and put it in my room. But I feel like the bedroom should be just rid of any media whatsoever apart from a book. Like, I don't want anything in there. It has to be a safe space away from the world, the crazy amount of information that we go through. So that's one thing I wanted to share with you all. I finished reading The Secret Diary of Laura Palmer. Little bit of a tidbit. I'm a massive Twin Peaks fan. Surprise, surprise. I love David Lynch. I mean, who doesn't? But anyways, if you don't know what that is, look it up. But it is a great TV show from the early 90s that got brought back about 5 years ago. Third season, at 20 years later, I believe. So yeah, fantastic. The book was full on, not safe for work, please. So don't read if you don't want to. So that's one thing that I'm into. And one of the other things I'm currently into is my Switch that I bought. I bought a Nintendo Switch. I had one before. I had one of those Switch Lites, but this one's the bigger one. And you know what? It makes it so much better to play. So I've been playing a lot of little small indie games and video games on it. And it's been making me very happy chappy. So that is anything other than cross stitch that I can share with you at the end of this segment. Now, guys, I want to end this all by saying a massive thank you again for supporting me, subscribing to me. If you're new, welcome. I'm so glad you even got to this point with me, but welcome. And if you liked the video, please press like. If you didn't, that's okay. And if you want to subscribe, subscribe. It doesn't really matter to me. I'm just loving that you're all here and you want to share my love for cross stitch, and you even want to share, like, even sharing my life with you. So thank you. And all right, I'm gonna end it there. So goodbye. Bye, everyone.